Hello, today I'm going to show you how to solve a trigonometric function. Okay, let's start. So first, the problem you are given is y equals 4 sine parentheses 2x minus pi over 6 close parentheses minus 2. The general formula of the trigonometric functions is y equals to a sine parentheses bx plus c close parentheses plus d. So the first step is getting out the amplitude. The amplitude is always going to be the absolute value of a. So you go back and you check which number of your problem is a. So it's 4. So your result is going to be the absolute value of 4. The second step is getting out the period. To get the period, we're going to use the formula 2 pi over b. So then you're going back again and check which of your numbers is b. In this situation is 2. So you're going to take 2 pi over 2 and then your result of the period is going to be pi. Now, step 3, getting the quadrant. The quadrant is a measure between each point on your graph. So you're going to need this to measure each point and to calculate where are you going to put the point. Okay, so your formula for getting the quadrant is period over 4, always. So here, you check that your period is pi, and you put it over 4. So your answer is going to be 1 pi fourths. Then, before starting to graph your problem, you're going to take the beginning. Your formula for getting the beginning, it's bx plus c equals to 0. So we're getting out the beginning step by step. Here you have all your change values, and it's this. So you're going to move everything to that size. 2x equals to pi over 6, because your negative sign will change into positive. So this is as a positive sign. Then you're putting x equals to pi over 6 over 2, because you're getting this, that is multiplying x to the other side, dividing. And your result is going to be 1 pi 12ths. This is your result for the beginning. Now, the ending. We go back here. For getting the ending, we're going to use this formula. Parentheses bx plus c, close parentheses, equals to 2 pi. So your steps by doing this is the same. You're changing values from your formula, which is bx plus c equals to 2 pi, and you're changing it to 2x minus pi 6 close parentheses equals to 2 pi. Okay. Now you're getting these values to the right side. So you're putting 2x equals to 2 pi plus 1 pi sixths. Now you're just doing that. 2x equals to 13 pi's over 6. And then your final result is going to be 13 pi's over 6 over 2. It's going to be 13 pi's over 2. This is your final result for the ending. So now here you have your result of the beginning and your result of ending. Now the graph. For getting the graph, the first thing you're doing is putting all your points. So you put your numbers 1 through all the numbers you want, and the same downwards. Then, as your quadrant says that each point is between pi fourths, you're dividing your graph into that. So first, your beginning says pi 12. So you're putting pi 12s, 2 pi 12s, 3 pi 12s, till you get until the ending point, 13 points, 13 pi 12s, and that's your finish line. That's the measure your graph is going to have. So now here it is the size of the quadrant. You count, and pi fourths is a measure of 3 points. So it's going to be pi fourths, pi threes, pi over 2, 2 pi over 3, 3 pi over 4, 5 pi over 6, and pi, which is your full number, no? So here, this is just to take your measure of your quadrant. So, remember you have a D. In some of the problems, you don't have a D, but here you have it. So it's -2. -2, it's going to be your horizontal imaginary axis. And you're going to graph it before anything else. You put your numbers and then you put this -2 and put with spots imaginary line, and you can put it with colors or with something that you can identify your imaginary line. This is called D. Then your third step, your result says that your graph starts in pi 12s. So when you have a D, you have to start where the D starts. So here, you're going to start here. If we didn't have a D, we could have started here. But no, as you have it, you have to follow the rules. Okay, so here you put your first point. Then, you're going to count where is the pi fourths. So, remember I told you that pi fourths equals to 3 points of pi over 12. So then you're going to count 1, 2, 3. Here you have a measure of 1 pi fourths. Then your absolute value, which is the amplitude, is going to tell you how much up or down is going your graph. Okay. So here it's going to go 4 points up. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Your second point. Then I forgot to put this formula, but in this case, you're going to put, this is a graph which goes like this, okay? So this should look your graph. Then, as you follow your graph, you're going to count again your pi fourths, which are 3 points. 1, 2, 3. So here you're going to have your point, and then you're going down as your image here, as your type of graph you have here. You have to go down if you look. So you're going to go 4 points down as your amplitude says. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have your third point. Then you're going now again to count your pi fourths. So you're going to count again. 1, 2, 3. Then you're going down again as you see in your original graph. So it's going to be 4 points down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to count for the last time your pi fourths. 1, 2, 3. And then you're going up as finally 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you have your graph and you can color it with a pencil. Then, for getting the maximum value, you're going to put always the radians and then the points. That means your x-axis and then your y. Okay, so your maximum point, as you can see, is here. Is the more tall and the one who has more points. So here, you look at your graph and see where it is standing. It's in pi thirds. So you put pi thirds, comma, and then you put your y-axis, which is 2. You can see. Then, your minimum, you look at your graph and see which is your minimum. So here is your minimum. Here, you have 5 pi sixths and comma minus 6, as you can see. Your domain in these trigonometric functions is always going to be real numbers, which means minus infinitive to infinitive. And your range is going to be your lowest point to your highest points. These ones are your y-axis. So it's minus 6. It's from downwards to upwards. So it's in the y-axis. I'm going to be minus 6, comma 2. And then you have finished your trigonometric function.